EBMX App!
It's here!
Here at EBMX and Extreme Electric Mods, here's Bruno Power to talk you through it.
Bruno Power! Alright, so the app is live on the Apple Store and it's coming for Android users, so don't worry, it'll be here, right? So as of today, if you go to Apple Store and you just type back 8000 or EBMX ASI controller, you're gonna see this is the app, right? So then you're going to click here, ta-da! So then here you see some screenshots from the app, so you have an idea. Basically pretty much everything you can see here, right? So then you can select between battery voltage and all this stuff here, and it's very, very easy. You can't go wrong. Okay, so we put limits for every single, like a range, minimum, maximum range for every single parameter. So yeah, lots of screenshots. So let's go inside the app here, right? So close here, I'm gonna open the actual app. So this is what happens. So loading is just talking to the internet for now. For the first time, you need to connect to the internet. Okay, and then I'm gonna put my email address here, my password, and then there's gonna be this pop-up here asking to enable your location. We need to have your location because to connect a Bluetooth device, you need to have a location enabled. We're not detecting, we're not tracking you, okay? And then access to your Bluetooth device, you go okay again, and then hold down and refresh. Right, so you see here, e-bike, cool, and you're gonna click here. And at that stage, if it's the first time you connecting the app, it's gonna pop up a screen here asking to purchase the full app version, and it's gonna charge you $49.99 USD or equivalent in your country, okay? All right, so go to Smart Setup here, okay? So you go here, and it's actually reading, it's a 60 volts high power setup. That's the setup we have here, okay? 60 volts high power. If you're 72 volts, you're just gonna go here, 72 volts high power. If you've got a bypass battery, you just click here. If you're a junior little surround bike, the kid's bike, and you bypass the battery and you have a back 4000 or something like that, you select the 52 volts bypass, okay? So every time you click this button here and press save, there's over 11 parameters you're saving in the background, so it's optimizing your battery performance, okay? There's a lot of going on here, okay? So it is just a very simple, let's just say you can't go wrong. Then here, let's say 60 volts high power setup. We got a back 8000. If you have a back 4000, you can see here on the top. So it's detecting a firmware version, it's detecting if it's a back 8000 or back 4000. If it was connected to a back 4000 controller, it would limit me to 12 kilowatts instead of 15 kilowatts and 425 phase amps instead of 600 phase amps, okay? So the app is smart enough to detect the type of controller model you're connecting to, right? And then here, gear ratio, and then at the moment you select the 58 sprocket, but we pretty much added everything is available on the internet right now. You can buy all types of sprockets for surround. So 42, 48, 52, 54, 55, 58, 60, 64, 66, 68. And then I've heard that some people are doing 72 now, so we're gonna pretty much be adding 72 sometime soon. All right, and then wheel tire total diameter. So basically you're just gonna measure the total from here to here, okay? And then this is gonna help your speeder to pick up the right speed, okay? And then you're gonna press apply. Let me just correct here. Boom, apply. And then ta-da, the app detected that there's some changes in your parameters. Basically, if you don't press flash the control, you can test all the changes you apply to the bike, and if you don't like, you just key the bike off and on, and everything goes back to normal, okay? So don't be scared of trying, testing things here, okay? So then you're just gonna press flash controller, go to adjustments, and inside adjustments, you're gonna have you can just drop phase current, you can drop the kilowatts here, total power you get to the motor. So you can limit your bike if you're gonna have some kids riding your bike, you don't want them to kill themselves. Throttle reaction time. Okay, so basically throttle reaction time, the more you increase here, let's say 100, 150, it's gonna be like a more like a ramp up performance. And basically like it enable you to have a better traction control, loose gravel, sand, or anything that you break into too much traction. You just increase this, it makes it more like gentle, the acceleration is smoother, and then it's still powerful. It's just a little bit of delay and ramp up. Okay? So it's pretty amazing. Just this feature alone is pretty amazing. The less you have here, the more like instant will be the response you get here on the throttle. Okay? So negative throttle release. So this is basically like the reaction time the controller have as soon as you release the throttle, okay? So if you're pulling wheelie or something, that you need like that instant reaction there, like go, boom. So that's what you want. You want to go very low, like 5 milliseconds. If you want to have something like smoother, so the bike doesn't cut. So if you want to have something the bike just goes when you release the throttle, and you just increase the time here, okay? So throttle dead band threshold, okay? So this, very important, you cannot ignore this feature, okay? And then we set up the minimum and maximum limits here for this parameter. So you cannot go 0. If you go 0, you just bump into the throttle, the bike will take off, okay? So you need to have it's a little slack here, it's a dead band, okay? Every single bike, every single throttle, electric, petrol, you need to have that slack here for safety. Backdoor, you only add enter numbers for the bottom, okay? So just for the start here. And in this app, we set up in a way that the throttle dead band threshold actually calculates for the top and the bottom. You also need to have a dead band so you can actually reach the full power every time you actually twist the throttle. I'm going to be showing you the throttle settings. There's a throttle calibration. So Regen motor brake. If you don't like the Regen, I don't like Regen, I don't want. You just go and disable here. Boom, that's it. Saved your life. You're gonna love Regen because you're gonna learn how to play with the Regen, and you can make Regen kicking only when you want, okay? At the particular speed. Usually high speed, Regen is amazing, okay? If you don't like Regen at low speed, don't worry, you can set the limits here, okay? Motor brake start speed. So if you want to be cruising at low speed with no Regen, great. So it only starts at 20 kilometers an hour. You can set this to 50 kilometers an hour. So it only kicks in at higher speed, 50 kilometers an hour, okay? And you can also tell how much you want, okay? So depending on the speed you put here, so 12% won't be enough. You want a little bit more. If you're faster, you need a little bit more, okay? So you can go all the way up to 30%. But if you got a very low speed start, you drop the same little bit, could be even less than that, okay? Could be like 7%, whatever. We recommend 12, it's just a basic. And then Regen start. So this the ramp up start Regen, okay? To actually start braking the bike, okay? 500 milliseconds, so it goes smoothly. And then Regen stop. That's how much time it takes to release the Regen. All right, so speed limit, if you set the power levels to 5, so it will be power mode 1, power mode 2, you can actually control from here. So the speed you see here will be set to power mode 1. Power mode 2 is going to be a little bit higher than that. Motor over temperature protection, permanent magnets, neodymium magnets, they start demagnetizing at higher temperature, okay? So if you go over, usually about like 90 degrees, 100, 120, it causes permanent trouble to your motor, okay? By default, it's set up to 90 degrees to start protecting the bike. But if you want to go higher, you can set all these limits here higher, okay? We can set to 105 degrees Celsius. And then complete motor disable car, okay? So this is like an emergency. So it's a second protection. One, it's going to slow your bike down a little bit, just to warn you that there's something going on. Second one is going to trigger the error in your controller, okay? And say, stop, there's something wrong. So then you have motor field weakening. So this is motor field weakening. It's a cheating way to make your motor spin faster than it should with that particular battery, okay? That's the reason why we were able to keep increasing the motor sprocket here, and you still get the top speed, you know. So it's a magic, right? Filmmaking is a magic, but it comes with some inefficiencies and stuff. But you disable this thing, your bike is not gonna go as fast. Like it might top up 50 kilometers an hour, 60, 70 kilometers an hour, depending on your sprocket size, right? So and then virtual freewheel. So this is basically a feature. It's optional. Not everyone likes this feature, but some people love it. So the virtual freewheel is actually you enable here, and here you go, like you just increase. There's a minimum maximum. You just turn it on here. I'm gonna do a quick demonstration. So this is basically inducing a small current to the motor. So when you're riding the bike, so this looks horrible here, right? Oh look, see? There's nothing here anymore, right? So this is just a little current that's injected to the motor, so you can keep riding the bike and cruising without the motor cog, okay? So if you disable this feature here and apply, and then you spin here, there's a little bit of motor resistance, okay? So every single bike has got this motor resistance here, okay? Resistance to turn. So that thing pretty much it eliminates this motor cog, alright? But the bigger the sprocket you have, the easier it will be to turn, right? So it's noticeable with the smaller sprocket. Okay, so now let's just go to monitoring page. So monitoring page, you can see here warning, faults to last faults, so you can also see here as well. Back flags, all the faults you can see on backdoor, the ASI app, we brought into this app here, right? And you see here motor controller temperature at the moment 17 degrees, and the whole sensor A, B, and C. So basically you go here, so you see the last one is on and the first two sensors are off. You go back there, turn the wheel, open, and you refresh here. Right, so you see the status of the motor or sensor A and B are now on and the other one's off. Okay? Right. So you go to throttle calibration settings. Cool. So you press I agree with the settings, and you press start calibration. Then you're gonna go here. Twist throttle to 100% and confirm. Twist throttle, okay. Release throttle to 0% and confirm. 0%, confirm, nice. And then that's what I was saying previously in the video, that the dead band is also calculated to the top and the bottom here, okay? So, supply, detect a new change here. Now we're gonna go to motor tune, and then here you see that's what's coming as default from the EBMX settings. So they're gonna hear induction resistance calibration. You go here, you agree? And the bike needs to be, you need to have the wheel up in the air so you can spin during the test. So you actually need to hold the bike down. The front of the wheel, the front of the bike, you're gonna hold it down because the bike, as soon as it kicks in, the bike, it might turn here on the stand, okay? So the first one is not much, it's just a little noise. So it's testing, now it's detecting and saving. Let's apply. Try to do this test with a full battery voltage, okay? And then calibrate, offset, and RPM. Okay, so this is reading your whole sensor angle inside the motor and also measuring your rated motor RPM based on the previous test. Okay, so you need to start with the other one first and then go to this as a second test. So here you're gonna go agree, start calibration. Change. This bike is being calibrated before. Might be a very similar number, you're going to see that as a result. Yep. And then apply. then after this, your bike is pretty much all set up. You can also go to factory tune here, press this button here, and that will restore your bike to the original factory settings that we set up here at EBMX. Okay? And that's it. So yeah, you go here and save. Here we go. The bike is good to go. Long video, I'm really sorry for that, but we covered the whole thing. Anything to say, Nick?
Thank you, Bruno. Go EBMX.
Alrighty, Android's coming!